Hello and welcome to this edition of SFG Top Performance. Today we're going to talk about grain and feed. Mike's with me as usual, and he'll hit on the feed here after a few minutes of grain talk. As we approach the Memorial Day holiday, and by the time you see this, that's been passed, but the market seemed just a little confused. There they have in the last maybe month. We've kind of fell off our tops that we saw this spring, late winter, whenever in there. And, you know, in the last week on the corn side, probably lost 35 cents. And then since then, we've got maybe 25 of it back. And that's probably because the rain has disappeared from the forecast for the most part for the next 10 days. And that's an ever-changing thing every day. A new forecast comes out, and, you know, they could suddenly find a rain cloud coming in, and this thing could reverse course again. But for the time being, you know, the USDA is estimating a 181.5 record yield nationwide, and that's pretty bold. That's a pretty bullish number. So in order to get that, we're going to have perfect weather all season, and it won't take a lot of stress to pull us back off of that number and give the market a reason to go up. Corn funds are on the short side to the tune of about 130,000 right now. That's probably a reversal of almost 250,000 contracts in the last 3 months. So they've made an about face, and now they're trying to defend their short position. But again, the quickest way to reverse that will be some bad weather, dry weather, and the heat. And we've got both of them coming, but again, it's the time of year when that's really not going to hurt the field crops, and sometimes it's good for them to force them to root down. We get to mid-June and we're still waiting for rain, then it becomes a little more serious, and we'll be more concerned about it. On the bean side, kind of a similar thing. You know, last Monday, beans shot up 34 cents on the day. Next 2 days, we gave majority of that back. That's how volatile this thing continues to be. We've had cancellations in the corn, you know, from China. That was expected and happened. There's been a few small cancellations on the bean side, and we're, you know, as normal. Every year we import a few beans into this country from Brazil. This year it made bigger headlines just because the national news picked up on it, and I don't think we're going to go overboard, but like I said, every year we import some, and this year it just made the news a little bigger. We also are importing a little bit of wheat, but that's a quality thing. They're after high-quality wheat in certain industries, and that's been a little tight in this country after last year's short crop. So there's a reason behind that coming in. The crop in Argentina continues to get smaller. That's probably been the one factor that's helped the bean market keep its head above water all spring, is the fact that they continue to lose crop in that area. If they'd had a normal crop, I think this thing would definitely be $1.50 lower on old crop. We'd be more closer to the new crop price, which when we mention that, you know, as an industry, we've probably got as small a book of new crop sales on the books as we've ever had. Farmers have been reluctant to price into a huge inverse, corn and beans both. On the bean side, it's been running as much as $2 inverted from old crop to new crop, and that's a struggle sometimes to come down to that number and get some pricing done. As we go through summer, those prices are going to come together, and again, the weather and the demand will dictate whether the new comes up or the old comes down. But sometime they're going to meet somewhere in the middle there on both of them. So I think it all comes down at this point to weather. That's all we've got to trade on. The planting is all but complete. Corn is in the ground with the exception of some areas in North Dakota, but they're rapidly finishing. Probably going to be a very small amount of prevent plant nationwide this year. In normal year, we have at least a couple million acres. Sometimes 4 to 6 is an average, but this year it could even be under 2 million. And so that will have an impact as we get the acres planted. Spring wheat, a little behind up there yet, maybe not going to happen completely, but there's other classes of wheat that'll pick up and take care of that. So I think we just need to be mindful of the conditions. Might be a little tougher to recognize pricing opportunities. Typically right now is a good pricing opportunity from late May to early June. And then the next step would be at pollination time, and that could go either way. But we're probably not going to get back in the 6.5 range on new crop corn, and it would be lucky to get much above 1350 on new crop beans if we get there. So may have to bring our sights down just a little and get some pricing done. With that, I'll turn it over to Mike, and he's going to bring us some updates on the feed industry.
Okay, thanks, Mark. So luckily you guys have had good weather here for making hay, and I'll tell you what, you're not wasting any time. Guys are mowing hay, and so that's a good thing. At least we'll have some forage. Triticale, I've tried to mention this to guys. Triticale's hard to figure out. You either get it when it's too wet or too dry, and triticale's real hard to keep forage quality, whether it's in the bunks or bags. So I've mentioned to you that you need to use a forage preservative on it so we get proper fermentation. So as far as harvesting triticale, if you could ideally get it done before it heads out, that would be great. And I know it's a tough one to harvest. The cattle market continues to be a crackerjack, I guess. It's not the 4th of July, but you guys better be celebrating and enjoying the good markets. 600-pound calves are still bringing $240 a pound plus. Some have brought $274 a pound. So I'm glad you're getting paid for your hard work. And it just appears like all these situations are real. We continue to have cow liquidation. They're saying that maybe by this fall we'll have the lowest number of feeder cattle available by this fall even. So feedlots and producers are buying up cattle. They want good cattle and they're paying for them. So creep feed, guys, it's time to get creep feed out there, whether this weather stays dry or not. Every pound is worth a lot of money that you can put on this calf, plus taking pressure off of mama. So we got the complete pelleted creep feed. Right now, based on the price of creep feed and the price of calves, there's an extra $60 per calf income after you pay for the creep feed. And that's based on the current price of creep feed and getting a 5.5 to 1 conversion and calves at $240 a pound. We can make you a commodity creep, but in all reality, your feed efficiency difference is going to take about 8 to 1, which puts your cost of gain at about $1.40, where pelleted creep without any waste or fines in the bottom of the feeder is going to cost you $1 to put on the gain. I always keep preaching every year about fly control, but should have had fly control in 30 days ago. And I know you had a lot going on, but so let's not forget about flies are bad already. We can't stock every item. Some people want different fly control products, and we can't stock every one of them, guys. So that's why we ask for lead time. We'll try and do the best we can, so let me know what you're needing. We do have a couple options available on the floor, but some of you guys need Oreo 6000 for Anaplas, and so I need a little help because we want to help you. It continues to be a positive feedback from producers that get those oilers out there if you don't have them and keep them full of fly dope, and you can reduce your fly control product in the mineral by using garlic, and that combination really seems to work. So if you don't have oilers and you finally said, geez, I need to get fly mineral, then I would sure look at either IGR or Clarify. But I'm going to tell you, the flies are already out there. And so if you put the fly mineral out, it's going to take an extra 5 to 7 days to start killing all those eggs before you start to see it work. So don't expect a miracle in a day or two. So just trying to update some of that. Feedlots and producers are buying cattle and want cattle. So keep them healthy, keep them growing. The demand looks positive. And again, I'll just repeat what I can find out from other nutritionists and feed companies out of this in Iowa and out of the state of Iowa. Feeder cattle are going to be short this fall, and so that's the best we know for now. Have a good Memorial weekend. The wish won't hear until after, of course. And again, we really do appreciate your support. We do appreciate your business, and please call us at any time, because that's what we're there for, is to help you. And a lot of you guys know me by now. I like to get on the farm and see what's going on, and that's how we can really help take care of you. So enjoy your long weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. That wraps up this edition. We look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. Thank you.